Welcome in everyone to the Salvation Army Croc Center here in Camden, New Jersey for the season opener of the ECBL. The Red Rose Thunder taking on the Philly Raiders today. Luke Nichols on the call. Emily Cochran sideline reporting, and today is about just a bit more than just a season opener of this basketball game. Red Rose Thunder member Makai Clemens sadly passed away back in September, and this is the first game they'll be playing without him. A note from head coach Malin Morrison of Red Rose Thunder. Makai was an incredible player, leader, teacher, friend, brother, and mentor to many of the players on our team. He always gave 200% and was an amazing shooter and defender. He was positive to a fault and would always say, "I got you." Just an incredible person, player, and he is truly missed. More on Makai Clemens as we send it down now to Emily Cochran. Little difficulties there. So right back to me, Luke Nichols, and just another quick note. During halftime, the Red Rose Thunder will place a ball down where Makai Clemens last scored in his Thunder uniform. His family will come out and have a nice ceremony and bring out a student athlete who will receive a donation. And it should be an emotional scene today. But more about the Red Rose Thunder. Played in the Brotherly Love League that I was a part of over the summer. Makai Clemens played in that as well, and was always a good time watching them. Always a very organized team. So Philly Raiders, haven't seen much of them, as Emily Cochran is ready now. So we'll send it down.
Thanks, Luke. This game is going to be an extremely emotional game for head coach Malin Morrison and the rest of the Red Rose Thunder organization. During halftime, she did tell me that they'll be bringing a ball right down on this court, and that's where Makai Clemens last scored his last shot during the Brotherly Love Pro-Am Summer League game. Also, immediately after, they'll be bringing his friends and family down to the court to officially retire his jersey. Back to you.
Thank you, Emily. And again, just such an emotional scene. Should be some good basketball in between. Makai Clemens, again, you are missed and greatly loved in the Croc Center today. Many memories here. Should be underway in just a few moments. Has some time, so stick with us here on the Sports Fan Base Network for the Red Rose Thunder and Philly Raiders coming up shortly.
East Coast Basketball League action. First, we want to recognize our team sponsors. Without our amazing sponsors, a professional basketball team in this community would not be possible. Special thanks to today's Red Rose Thunder's VIP sponsor, Vajov Design in Lancaster, and also Alice's Diner and Morgan Automotive. Before we do our starting lineups, please rise for the playing of our national anthem, being sung by Gab Amor. Now it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the starting lineups presented by Ray Hancock, also known as Hall of Fame of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. How y'all feeling today? Y'all ready for basketball thing here? Nice. Okay, so big shout out to DJ Elliott, of course. We're going to start with our away team from the Philadelphia Raiders. We have, starting at guard, from Quinnipiac University, standing at 6 feet 1 inch, Shaq Hannon. We have next, starting at center, from Cheney University, number 7, Richard Todd. Next we have, starting at forward, standing at 6 feet 5 inches, from Millersville University, Eddie Dowd. Next we have, starting at forward, standing at 6 feet 5 inches, from Newman University, Carl Wallace. And last, we have, starting at guard, standing at 6 feet 5 inches, from Westchester University, Ben Mingledon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all put your hands together. Show some love for your home team. Make some noise right now if you got that team music. And give it up to the Red Rose Thunder. Now, starting at center, standing at 6 feet 10 inches, from Syracuse University. Y'all give it up to number 00, Rick Jackson. Starting next at guard, sitting at 6 feet 3 inches, from Pittsburgh State University, number 8, Will Morrison. Next, starting at guard, sitting at 6 feet 2 inches, from Mansfield University, number 10, and one of his captains, Tyreek Willis. And then, starting at guard, standing at 6 feet 3 inches, from Mercyhurst University, another number 15 captain, number 11, Demetrius Davenport. And finally, starting at forward, standing at 6 feet 6 inches, from Rosemount College. Y'all give it up. Y'all make some noise for number 14, Dominique Cavalieri. And of course, we can't forget our assistant coaches, Don Butler and Steve Butler. Y'all make some noise, and y'all put your hands together and show some special love for your head coach, Maylin Morris.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Salvation Army Kroc Center here in Camden, New Jersey. Red Rose Thunder and Philly Raiders starting lineups announced. Making their way to the floor shortly. Myself, Luke Nichols, joined alongside Emily Cochran, our sideline reporter on the day. Red Rose Thunder with some updated jerseys, going with the Golden State Warriors alternates with the red on the bottom. I like it. I like it. Hope they don't get in trouble for that, but looks great. Some familiar faces for Red Rose Thunder from the Brotherly Love League, if you were tuned in for some of those games. Demetrius Davenport and Tyreek Riddick, 2 out of the 5 starters. The other 3 being Dominic Scafidi, Will Morrison, and Rick Jackson. As for the Raiders, starting 5, Shaq Shannon, Richard Collins, Eddie Callender, Carl Wallace, and Ben Mingledo. Pausing the action before we start. Teams will flip sides. And we seem set. Even the official at half court, remember him from the Brotherly Love League games. Asking Demetrius Davenport to tuck in his jersey, and we're underway. Tip is one. Raiders moving the other way quickly with the left hand. Wow, what a quick start. And one from number 8, Eddie Callender. Got the right off the tip and one-on-one with Davenport, so early, Demetrius Davenport picks up his first foul. Richard Collins, number 7, wins the tip over 6'10" Rick Jackson. For reference, Richard Collins, 6'7", so a 3-inch difference, but Collins doesn't care. First free throw, too strong off the back iron. Red Rose Thunder look to answer, already trailing 2-0. Davenport can catch fire quickly, so can Tyreek Riddick, who just gives it away. Davenport driving in, finds a man in the corner. One pump fake, open from the mid-range, short, rebound Raiders. Cross along the baseline, guarded by Jackson, has to give it up. A risky pass out towards half court, gonna have to reset with 7 on the shot clock. Dribble handoff, driving in, right-handed layup, oh, just can't fall, batted around and controlled by Scafidi. Davenport with a head of steam, tries the right-handed floater, draws the foul. Shot will not fall, but Davenport heads to the line to shoot 2. Eddie Callender called for the early foul. Davenport cashes in on the first. Last year for the Red Rose Thunder, appeared in 8 games and averaged just about 13 points a game. And truthfully, for the Brotherly Love League, feels like he averaged more, but new year, all knotted up at 2 after both makes. Callender driving, gets fouled again. Looks like they'll get Dominic Scafidi. So Callender back to the line. It's got most of the usage early on. Has taken all 3 shots for the Philly Raiders in this season opener for the East Coast Basketball League. And hits the first free throw. Second one from the lefty is good. So Callender, the lefty out of Millersville University. Lefties always have just a nicer jump shot than someone with the right hand. Jackson looking to create his own shot. Left-handed hook is good, making it look easy. Guarded by Richard Collins. Has a clear height advantage and even a possible strength advantage. Quick steal by Davenport in the post. Looking to create a fast break. Finds a man and finishes at the rim after the slight fumble. Will Morrison on the board. Spots up from the top of the, whoa, way off. Maybe a bit of a draft let in. Riddick gets the rebound, moving the other way. Spots up from deep. Oh, and cashes in. Tyreek Riddick with his first make of the ball game, and wow. All the confidence in the world. Another steal right around the top of the key, streaking the other way. No showmanship, but an easy finger roll finish for Will Morrison. 4 points in total for him early on, both being fast break buckets. Callender again at the top of the key. Gonna try his luck from deep and convert. Nice shot off the dribble. Scafidi played solid defense, got a hand up, solid contest, but just an even better make from Eddie Callender. Scafidi, no intentions of answering. Morrison driving in with the left hand this time, just barely sneaks it past Carl Wallace. Both teams starting to get their sea legs under them in this opener, especially in the first quarter. Top of the key. Triple again is good from Ben Mingledoe. Mingledoe, another brotherly love alum from this past summer. 13-10, Red Rose Thunder leading in the post. Through the contact, gets his own rebound, right back up and in with the left hand. Rick Jackson, he may be a problem on the offensive end for the Raiders. Just don't see many players on the floor or even on the bench that can match his size and physicality. Riddick tried to shield off Collins in the low block. Collins ends up getting it, tries to find a teammate. No travel is called. What a backdoor cut. Can't get it off in time. Shot clock violation against the Raiders. See it again here. Rick Jackson, the one pump fake. And a tough shot. Good contest, but just his own cleanup crew. Thought about trying his luck from deep, but decided against it. Davenport, too easy. Such a quick first step. It's so hard to stay in front of him if you don't have just a little advantage, another step or two on him already. Collins tries the post fade short, rebound Davenport. Scafidi may have had a chance. It would have been a long, difficult pass from Davenport, but he's capable of making those long outlet passes. Ball batted away, will stay Red Rose ball, but Scafidi was open and no one was between him and the bucket. But Red Rose Thunder deciding to move a bit slower, get into their offense. Morrison doesn't want to take it with the left hand again. So even with the offhand, finds a soft spot off the glass. From the wing, three. Ooh, just rimming out halfway home and popped out from Shaq Shannon. Trying to get his first bucket of the day. Davenport the other way. Backdoor cut to Scafidi with the left hand. Just beautiful basketball from the Red Rose Thunder as a timeout is needed by the Philly Raiders. You see it here. Davenport and Scafidi just on the same page the entire time. Scafidi caught his man sleeping. Even just poor defense from Eddie Callender. Almost let him have it. Timeout called on the floor. We'll stay here. Red Rose Thunder leading 21-10 after giving up the initial bucket. And it's been all Red Rose Thunder. And being a Newman University man myself, shout out to Carl Wallace, Isaiah Wilmore, and Tyreek Riddick, all Newman alums. Love to see it. Have this Sixers MC in here today. A big-time season opener for the Red Rose Thunder. Always play well. Happy to be back. Always nice when you just get more basketball, especially at a time when basketball is usually ending. NBA starting playoffs soon, NCAA, the tournament's coming up, so good to have some spring basketball in our lives. Both teams, well, just the Raiders, now Red Rose Thunder making their way. It's the before-mentioned Carl Wallace at the free throw line. Tries a right-handed floater, a bit awkward looking, but just rimming out. Tried to catch Rick Jackson sleeping, didn't want to try his luck, trying to drive in against Jackson. Riddick tries another contested three, almost got the friendly bounce, but popped right out. Driving in with the right hand high off the glass, the tip in no good as well. Another offensive rebound, third chance bucket, and is fouled on the third chance opportunity. Carl Wallace at the line for two. First free throw, good for the 6'5", 220-pound Carl Wallace. As is the second. So Red Rose still leading 21-12. Morrison looking to add on to that. Finds Riddick, going to take the three from the wing off the back iron. Rick Jackson, the long offensive floorboard. Pass off line, tipped away. Fast break opportunity for the Raiders. Maybe last second denied the showmanship as Carl Wallace gets another deuce. Morrison pass picked off, streaking the other way. Eddie Callender, Morrison ahead of him. What a defensive play from Will Morrison, smacking the ball away at the last second. Also saying my bad for the turnover. But a great steal by Callender. And look at this defensive play. Stuck with him the entire time. And a great job not smacking the forearm, elbow, or even head of Eddie Callender. Got all ball. Wallace walking into the elbow. Decides against taking it. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. High ball screen. Finding a man, mid-range two. Cannot fall. Offensive rebound for Wallace. Just finds a teammate before falling out of bounds. Wallace blocked by Morrison and Jackson. And the Raiders still with a possession chance and a foul on the floor. It looks like they're going to get Dominic Scafidi, the way he's talking to the official. The official with the emphatic call on the floor. As the Red Rose Thunder will take a timeout, so will we, as the Red Rose Thunder lead 21-14. We'll be right back on the Sports Fanbase Network. back after the timeout at the Salvation Army Kroc Center here in Camden, New Jersey. Quick discussion with the scorers table from the head official, it seems, as we reset. Got a heave one at the last second. Shaq Shannon offline. Jackson the rebound. Dumps it off to the newly checked in Isaiah Wilmore. Wilmore, the fadeaway from the block. Pretty looking start for Isaiah Wilmore. Took it the entire length of the floor and made it look easy. Also into the game for the Red Rose Thunder, number 20, Chris Bailey. Wild shot, another offensive rebound put back and in from Eddie Callender. So surprised by the amount of offensive rebounds from the Philly Raiders, given that Rick Jackson being the tallest and most prominent player on the glass today. Driving in, right-handed floater offline. Ball batted around, defensive rebound for the Raiders. Looking to move quick, trying to get past Morrison. Met by Jackson, gonna have to pull it back out. Smart decision, leading to a wide open three. Gets the roll. Eddie Callender again. He's been all over the place, defensively, offensively for the Raiders, as they trail 19-23. Jackson, the dribble handoff to Wilmore, rises and got hit on the hand. A bit of a late foul call, but the correct one, and how do you forget about Eddie Callender? He's had the hot hand the entire game and just walked right into that open three. But that often happens whenever a team's running in transition. The defense wants to make such an emphasis to get back on defense, pick up a man, that you forget about the trail man. Next thing you know, he's wide open. Wilmore can't hit the first free throw, and could hear a clear yell of "ball don't lie." Couldn't tell who from exactly, but I mean, truthfully, I'm very confident that was a foul on the jump shot. That almost clearly got hit in the arm and the hand, so more just a bad free throw. As they still lead 23-19 with 4:05 remaining in the first quarter. Splits them. Driving in with a head of steam, tries the reverse, way off. Jackson had it tipped away from him, but Red Rose will keep possession. That was number 5, Shaq Shannon. Tried to answer quickly and had the right idea, but a good contest from Rick Jackson just made that reverse attempt look way off. Number 24, Kai Howard, checks in for Red Rose Thunder as well. So more bench players, as that was number 3, George Williams, just got stripped on his driving attempt the other way, and the foul. Shaq Shannon making up for the questionable reverse with a possible 3-point play. Great take there. You see him laying on the floor. Bit of a celebratory extra second on the floor, but a poor sequence for George Williams. Got stripped and then commits the foul on the other end. Most likely a frustration foul after turning the ball over, as Shannon converts on the extra free throw. Kai Howard crosses, finds Wilmore in the corner, hesitates, now drives in. The right-handed floater. Needed some help from Jackson, but couldn't get the tip in. Driving from the wing and going to travel before the shot. The correct call. Not a fan is number 4, Devin Moore, but not much he could do. Couldn't tell if he tripped on a player's foot or just tripped over himself, but shuffled the feet a bit too much and just forced up the shot to try to avoid the travel. As Red Rose moves the other way with Kai Howard controlling it, dumping it into Jackson. All eyes on Rick Jackson. Here comes the double team, trying to power through it, and a travel called on Rick Jackson. That's a questionable travel call in my mind. If anything, I think Calling an offensive foul on Jackson for the shoulder, and the physicality on the low block would have been more warranted than a travel. But hey, moving the other way, Raiders looking to answer. Jackson doesn't get a piece of it, but a great contest on Carl Wallace's attempt. Driving in Wilmore through a heavy set of defenders, way off. Wallace doesn't have numbers, but is still going to try and create a fast break now. Pulls it back out to a wide open teammate. Whoa. Callender was hot all quarter, way off on that look. So the bench unit moving a bit slow, driving in. Kai Howard can't hit it again, just off the back iron. Bench unit for the Red Rose Thunder can't buy a bucket so far. Tried to draw the foul against Scafidi. Great save. Looking for a fast break chance. George Williams moving the other way. Stops from the elbow. Can't hit it off the back iron again. Offensive rebound. Right back up with the right hand. And finally a bucket. Courtesy of Chris Bailey. Just felt like Red Rose was getting some decent looks at the rim. And an 8-second violation. Wow. So you see here George Williams off the back iron, then the rebound, the long rebound. No real box out against Bailey and goes right back up. But an 8-second violation called against the Philly Raiders. No major press offered by Red Rose, so maybe just a mental lapse for the Raiders. Wilmore going to try his luck from the corner pocket to no avail. Defensive rebound. Moore. Dump pass into Moore on the wing. Finds the extra man. Open from the corner. Mingledo can't hit it. Kai Howard streaking the other way. Scafidi saying kind of mid-dribble, my bad, I missed you there. Didn't want to force it. Williams now driving with the right hand. Scoop too strong. Couldn't draw the foul. Devin Moore a bit hobbled running back down. Mid-range too strong. Tipped away and out of bounds. And now number 4, Devin Moore for the Philly Raiders will take a seat. Not exactly sure what he did, but even walking to the bench looks a bit hobbled. Still putting pressure on either leg, but maybe just a light tweak of some sorts as we reset with 55 seconds remaining. Posting up against Scafidi. Can't hit it. Bounced around. An offensive rebound again for the Raiders. Going back up, and what a block from Chris Bailey. Moving the other way with George Williams. Tries the fancy pass. Nearly trails out of bounds, and Riddick lost it, saved it, but right to the Raiders. Raiders moving the other way, stopping from the elbow and cashing in. Zahir Gillis. Shot clock still plugged in by just about 2 seconds. Scafidi wide open. Defensive breakdown. Left Dominic Scafidi wide open on the block. Shot clock now unplugged. Raiders can hold for the last look if they so choose with 5 remaining. Gillis going to try the right-handed floater. Can't get it to fall. At the end of the first quarter, the Red Rose Thunder lead 28-24. Here's a look. Scafidi just kind of walked right into it. Poor transition defense from the Raiders in attempting to get back. So 28-24, Red Rose leads. But a strong comeback from the Raiders to make it a more respectable game after trailing by 10 at one point as we send it down to Emily Cochran now.
Coach Malin Morrison said that Makai Clemens would always give 210% on and off the court. Off the court, he actually worked as a teacher at Stetson B Middle School, and all of the proceeds from the keychains and the posters that they're selling here at the Kroc Center are going to a student named Jeremiah DeZazu, who actually went to Stetson B Middle School and was a student of Makai's. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Emily. And yeah, so Makai Clemens, again, a teacher at John B. Stetson Middle School, but so great that we can do this for Jeremiah DeShazo. Going to be an emotional scene at halftime, but rightfully so. I mean, Makai Clemens, such an amazing person. And again, just dearly missed. Just to reiterate, at halftime there will be a ceremony where they place the ball down on the court. His family will come out. They'll have his family kind of and then present DeShazo with the check and everything, and just so tragic. But happy that we can do this for him. Happy that we can come together as a community and celebrate Makai Clemens with the Red Rose Thunder, his Red Rose Thunder squad leading 28-24. The thing that kind of speaks to me the most about Makai Clemens is the mention from head coach Morrison that he was such a mentor to some of these guys on the team, that they really looked up to him and went to him just for anything. As we reset in the low post, trying the fade and hitting it. Chris Bailey. Bit of a nonchalant post fade, but hey, if it works, it works. 2 points is 2 points, no matter how you get it. Scafidi tried the steal. And a great heads-up play from Lamont Huggins, just realizing he was falling out of bounds and spiked it right off of Dominic Scafidi. Even Scafidi saying, hey, I respect it, giving him a high five. Looking to answer. Huggins! Ooh, the tough fading away floater. Looked a bit awkward, but again, Lamont Huggins, 6'9", 240, out of Baltimore, Maryland. Scafidi again from the block. What a look from George Williams, finding his teammate. Very unselfish play. Finding the perfect shot. Height mismatch in the low block and converting easily. Ben Mingledoe. Mingledoe, 6'5", 210. And George Williams, 6', 170. Can't teach height. Tyree Critic, the sidestep triple, way too strong. So hit that first one in transition and has been off from beyond the arc the rest of the time. Top of the key, three, short again. Oh, man. Tipped right back to the other team. Can't hit the three. And now a defensive rebound. Good for Kai Howard. Scafidi stepping into a top of the key. Three and hitting it. Dominic Scafidi starting to come alive. Now has 7 points in the last 2 minutes and change. Had the bucket at the end of the quarter. Bucket to start the quarter. And now the three. Kai Howard, too aggressive on the steal attempt, fouling Ben Mingledoe, saying he had his offhand, his right hand, kind of still wrapped around Mingledoe as he went for the steal. Davenport snatches it and moving the other way. Head of steam, draws the contact, can't convert. But hard to stop Demetrius Davenport once he gets that deep into the lane. Just so good at drawing fouls and even finishing through the contact. There was a brotherly love game earlier on in the year where they go into the Elam ending period and Demetrius Davenport just took over, led a monstrous comeback for the Red Rose Thunder as he misses the first free throw. But they were down by 20 points at least, and he just put the team on his back. Ended up winning the game. It was incredible. Some words from Mingledoe as he splits him at the line. Davenport tried to get the steal on Mingledoe as he drives in, kicks it back out. Gonna spot up from the free throw line. Can't cash in. Scafidi the rebound. Davenport, ooh, fancy move. Another behind the back, finds an open Williams, taking the three. Ooh, can't hit it. Raiders. Ooh, Mengel tried the reverse, but gets maybe bailed out on the foul. So we'll head to the line to shoot a pair. They get the foul on George Williams, who is actually, at the time of the shot for Mingledo, it looked like Rick Jackson and Dominic Scafidi were closer to Mingledo than Williams was, but that's why I'm not an official. Can't hit the second. Cross-court look for Williams, driving in, tried to hand it off to Jackson. Not on the same page. Now a fast break opportunity for the Raiders, and another great defensive play to deny the easy bucket, this time from George Williams. Stripped it away from Shaq Shannon. Tried that kind of just rip through above the head move, leading to an open layup, but Williams read it the entire time. Gets it right through the screen, through another screen, can't hit the mid-range deuce. Long pass to Tyreek Riddick, who finishes. So Riddick, maybe seeing one go through will get him back on track. Shannon, ooh, the behind the back move, rising and knocking it down. Absolutely shook Tyreek Riddick. Had all the space in the world. Demetrius Davenport looking to answer, gets the foul. The body control in the air for Demetrius Davenport. You can see it here. Driving in with a head of steam, and man, just, whew. Not a bad contest from Lamont Huggins, but got his body into it, and even Demetrius Davenport just had too much momentum headed towards the bucket that Huggins just got almost thrown back to the shot clock area. So the Raiders now trailing by 10. Tried to make it 7-3, just a bit off. Tyreek Riddick. Thought he was going to take the in-transition three. Tries the right-handed layup, but is blocked. Jamal Bailey on the rejection, but it will stay Red Rose possession. Scafidi trying to shield off his man. Good defense from Carl Wallace, pardon me, on the Davenport attempted entry pass. Davenport, the crossover, right-handed floater layup, too short. As Wallace, trying to fight through the double team, now gives it away. Shannon, tiptoeing the baseline, throws it away. George Williams comes up with the steal, trying to make it a 2-on-1 fast break. Tyreek Riddick going to spot up and cash in. A perfect two-man game from George Williams and Tyreek Riddick. Really nothing the defense could do there other than hope for the miss. Driving in with the left hand, too strong off the glass. Tippin, no good as well. Scafidi, no travel, no foul call, but still comes up with it. Deja vu moment here as Tyreek Riddick can't hit it this time. Williams flying in for the attempted rebound, but knocked it away. You see George Williams, just the bullet pass, and really, number 11, Carl Wallace, as long as you shield off the paint, you'll let them take an in-transition open three every single time when it's a 2-on-1 break. A better chance they miss from that deep than right next to the bucket. Just about 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Davenport with the right hand may have gotten bumped. No foul call as the Raiders move the other way, slowly but surely. Tight defense from Scafidi leading to a wide open lay. And the Raiders smartly calling a timeout. Now trailing by 15. Could feel the game start to slip away. Don't often see a 3-0 fast break, but not often is it unsuccessful for the team with the advantage. Timeout on the floor. We'll take a short break. Stick with us on the Sports Fanbase Network. Welcome back to the Kroc Center on the Sports Fanbase Network. Red Rose Thunder taking on the Philly Raiders in this East Coast Basketball League matchup. Myself, Luke Nichols, Emily Cochran, our sideline reporter. Should be hearing from her once halftime hits as the Raiders. What a block from Rick Jackson! Keep it on their end. Rebound, Scafidi. Tyreek Riddick trying to create a fast break of his own. Driving in with the left hand, too strong. Spikes off the glass. Man, Rick Jackson just met Wallace at the rim. Another rebound. So a lot of these layups, some good looks at the rim for the Raiders, but a lot just rolling out. Scafidi going to try his luck again. Too short. Jackson the offensive rebound. And got stripped. Looks like his forearm got just smashed as he tried to go up. But a great recovery from George Williams, knocking it away from Zahir Gills. Maybe a frustration timeout called. As we'll take. Yeah, I was a bit confused on what the timeout was. It seemed like there was a light confusion on the floor, so we'll stay here. But early on, Red Rose Thunder have had some consistency, had some runs, but they've gone cold every now and then. If the Raiders can start to knock down some buckets and really convert when that cold streak hits for Red Rose Thunder, they can fight back in this game and make it close, maybe even take a lead. Haven't held a lead since the first few seconds of the first quarter. And as of now, it just feels like there's a lid on their offensive end. Like I said, a lot of layups just barely rimming out, rolling out off the back rim. Red Rose Thunder making their way back onto the floor. Philly Raiders taking the extra few seconds that they have. Maybe go for a different game plan. Their defense has been solid so far. It's just been the in-transition offense, the fast break points for Red Rose Thunder that has made this a 16-point lead. Half-court offense, they're successful, yes, but in transition, they're almost 100%. So Shaq Shannon to inbound it for the Raiders and finds Wallace. Wallace along the baseline, guarded by Jackson. Trying to blow by Jackson. Another layup just offline, but a great contest from Rick Jackson. Davenport, can't hit Rick Jackson, just a bit offline. Pass was behind him. Would have had a clear finish at the rim. Under 5 minutes until halftime. Shannon driving in, kicking to the corner. Open three. Corner pocket is good. They wanted the foul for no landing space, but Richard Collins knocks it down anyway. Maybe the shot the Raiders need to get back into it. and spark a run. Wallace tried to rip it away. Jackson stares down the official. Man, very physical defense from Carl Wallace. Felt like only a matter of time he was going to get called for it. Let's see if the foul was warranted here in the corner. Oh, and I think so. I mean, they both kind of move forward, but usually you place an emphasis on protecting the shooter. And Scafidi, his momentum took him in that landing space. So I think a foul maybe was warranted. So head coach Keith Walker of the Raiders may have a case as the first free throw too strong from Rick Jackson. Jackson, the lefty, cashes in on the second. .13 lead for Red Rose. Shaq Shannon directing traffic. A lot of high ball screens. Shaq Shannon trying to use it, didn't really, just kind of ignored it, went the other way. And now takes a three from the corner, can't hit it. Jackson, another rebound. And gives it right back up. Carl Wallace with the interception, but then short on his layup attempt. Demetrius Davenport, the long bullet pass to Williams, finds Wilmore for the finger roll finish. And again, that's what I mean, these transition buckets. Red Rose likes to get out and run and just get 2 points early and often. Shannon tried to spot up, dumps it in. Wallace with an advantage and fouled by Demetrius Davenport. Wallace back at the line for his first. Ooh, way off that time, kind of spiked off the glass. .332 remaining in this East Coast Basketball League season opening first half. 49-34 Red Rose leads, now 49-35. And this is kind of the moment in the second quarter where you think, all right, if we can cut the lead to maybe 10, maybe get to 8 before the quarter is over, we'll be in a good spot to start the second half. But Red Rose looking to keep it at this distance and maybe even extend this lead. Wallace with tight defense from George Williams, and again, just looks like a frustration foul from George Williams, was hand-checking Carl Wallace almost the entire time up the floor. Substitutions in for Red Rose Thunder. Number 20, Chris Bailey, and number 22, Pierre Forte. First minutes today for Forte as he immediately commits the foul. So first 3 seconds, Forte already with one personal foul. Shot clock will reset to 14 as Zahir Gills inbounds. Not entirely sure what the buzzer is for. It looks like the official needs to check with the scorer's table. The Raiders in the bonus is what it was. They didn't get the side out because they should be getting the 1-and-1. Red Rose now leading 49-37. Moving the other way, Forte looking to make up for the previous foul and short on his contested layup. Long pass to Shannon just over the head of Davenport. Shannon driving in with the right hand and blocked from behind by Chris Bailey. Bailey, the emphatic rejection, running in transition, spotting up, steps back for the three. Can't hit the three, but rebound Forte. And one of the shortest players on the floor, Pierre Forte at 5'11", working the offensive glass. Gills looking to answer with just about 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ripping through, finding himself open, and getting a rebound and the two. Richard Collins, the patience made all the difference. Kind of just had to stop and then get through. As Wilmore gets stripped but keeps it alive. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Got to start moving quick. Contested, long, two. Man, Isaiah Wilmore, what a tough make. Didn't really have anything going on that possession as a team, but Wilmore bailing them out with a tough look and an immediate answer from Carl Wallace. 53-41 Morrison. Haven't heard from him since the first quarter. Gonna try his luck from deep. Short. Wilmore tried to rip it away from Wallace, but Wallace contains it. Finds an open man in the corner. Ooh, just rimming out again. Ball stripped away. Trying to keep it alive. Out of bounds and will stay Philly Raiders possession. It looks like they're saying Pierre Forte hit the ball as he was standing out of bounds. Now just under a minute with Callender. Backing in on Wilmore, and ooh, the foul on Chris Bailey. Knew he fouled him, but tried for the blindside block. Headed back to the line, Eddie Callender. Callender, like Will Morrison, both had very strong first quarters, but then very quiet second quarters. Free throw rattles home for Eddie Callender. So with a make, they could cut the lead to just 10 if that holds until halftime, even with a chance to cut into the deficit even more. Like I said, could be a good spot for the Raiders after trailing for almost the entirety of the first half. Quick timeout called by the Philly Raiders. We'll take a timeout as well. Stick with us on the Sports Fan Base Network. Back after the timeout, Red Rose Thunder to start with the ball. Chris Bailey to inbound. The other four, Demetrius Davenport, Will Morrison, Pierre Forte, and Isaiah Wilmore. Davenport walks into a wing three. I apologize for the silence, but just like the Raiders defense was very confused what was going on, Shaq Shannon kind of looked at Davenport like, sure, go ahead, and now they'll start with the ball. So we'll reset. Mingledo to inbound. And Wallace to bring it across, guarded by Pierre Forte. Shot clock still in play, so Red Rose could get one more look at it. Open from the corner, taking the three. Can't cash in. Offensive tip-in, no good as well. The third offensive tip-in, or the second, pardon me. No good, but fouled on that offensive shot attempt. And Chris Bailey called for the foul again, and the Red Rose bench not a fan of the call. Players and coaches alike. And this is the ceremony for Makai Clemens, putting the ball where he scored his last bucket for Red Rose, right on the block. A very emotional scene. You can see Demetrius Davenport down. Clearly was close with Makai Clemens. As now we will bring Clemens' family out. Team still huddled around Davenport. Ball will remain on the block as head coach Malin Morrison will present Makai Clemens' family with his Red Rose Thunder jersey signed by the entire Red Rose Thunder team.
You'll really miss Makai, not as a player, but as a person, this attitude that he brought to the team. My personal favorite memory of Makai is when we were playing for LaPone and he got hurt, and I had no idea where to go from there, but I see Makai on the sideline collecting himself, preparing, knowing he had to step up because they're playing the defending champions, and he stepped up and we won by 14, and we were down at that point. That's because that's the person who Makai was. When there was a challenge, he stepped up. And through basketball, we had the opportunity to make sure that his memories and what he did never died. So we are presenting Makai Clemens' jersey to his family, and we would like to thank you all for coming out, and please give a round of applause for them.
Isaiah Wilmore embracing the Clemens family, along with Coach Morrison, Tyreek Riddick there now.
His family would like to donate something to the family of Clemens, Makai Clemens.
Good afternoon. My son Jeremiah was very fond of his coach. I don't know how to raise an athlete. I'm just a mother. And when this tragedy struck, it just knocked me off my feet. So with that being said, from the DeShazo family, the Williams, we wanted to give you something that you will always know So this plaque said, in loving memory, Coach Makai Clemens, December 30th, 1995 to September 21st, 2022. It broke our hearts to lose you, but you did not go alone. For parts of you, the parts of us went with you the day God called you home. And there's a place for it's picture.
Words from Makai's mother talking about, as she stated, Coach Makai Clemens, saying that part of him will live in all of us and clearly will never be forgotten. Just a great showing of support. Everyone clearly just showing how much they appreciate it and how
$100 as part of the Mrs. Clemens. Yours.
today will go to him. Makai Clemens Fund. He is currently a student at John B. Stetson Middle School, as Emily mentioned earlier on. A quick moment for Makai Clemens, and so much more than just a basketball game today. Just in honor of Makai Clemens, thinking about him, and of course missing him. His family seems to be in good spirits. They seem appreciative. Just good to see them smiling. Good to see we can put on an event like this today. Bring some joy to everybody here. It's what Makai would have wanted. And just may he rest in peace. Should be getting head coach Malin Morrison with Emily Cochran momentarily. We'll wait for them to get set. As we send it down to Emily and Coach Morrison now.
All right. I'm with Coach Morrison right now. That was so beautiful what they just did right before the half when they placed the ball right where his last shot was taken. What are the thoughts going through your mind right now?
Makai was a leader, he was a father, and he was a mentor to all of us. We miss him. We played for him. This season is for 13. He will never be forgotten.
Absolutely. And going into this second half, how is that momentum going to be sustained for number 13 today? What is it going to mean to you guys to get this win today?
I think the players are going to come out stronger. They know what we're playing for. We're going to win this game, and it's only the beginning.
I can't wait to watch. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Back to you, Luke.
Thank you, Emily and Coach Morrison. And as Coach Morrison said, more than just a game today, playing for Makai Clemens. Not much more to be said. We miss you, Makai. May you rest in peace. Stick with us on the Sports Fanbase Network. Welcome back to the Salvation Army Croc Center here in Camden, New Jersey. Luke Nichols joining you on the Sports Fan Base Network. Emily Cochran, sideline reporter on the day, as the Red Rose Thunder lead the Philly Raiders 53-45, as the second half should get started momentarily. If you missed it, at the end of the second quarter, pretty much the start of halftime, there was a ceremony for Makai Clemens, and was just a beautiful ceremony as he passed away in September, and this being the season opener for the Red Rose Thunder. They wanted to honor him. So if you missed it, be sure to go back and see that, because it really was a beautiful ceremony. Usual starting five on the floor for the Red Rose Thunder: Demetrius Davenport, Dominic Scafidi, Rick Jackson, Will Morrison, and Tyreek Riddick. Philly Raiders yet to take the floor as we flip sides. Davenport brings it across. The Raiders closed out the second half strong, trailed by as much as 16, now just down by 8 with an immediate foul on Rick Jackson, about 20 feet from the bucket. And we'll reset with Scafidi to inbound. Hands it off to Tyreek Riddick, who tried to feed Rick Jackson on the roll, but just a bit too delayed was Jackson after setting the screen. Would have had a clear lane to the rack, but a slight miscommunication. Corner three, off the back iron. Jackson gets the rebound, pushes up floor to Morrison. Morrison with the right hand, can't hit it. Had a strong first quarter, no points in the second quarter. And starting out Ofer in the third. Right-handed floater, couldn't get past Jackson, but an offensive rebound kept alive. Open three for Mingledo, can't cash in. Both sides a bit off from beyond the arc today. Season opener, so still got to find that in-game shot, but a lot have been off the back rim, side rim. Davenport looks to change that, and will. Demetrius Davenport must have heard me, decided to knock down a triple. 56-45, first bucket of the second half, courtesy of Demetrius Davenport. Scafidi just clearly forcing Callender to his right. Going with his right, can't finish with the right. Rebound Jackson. Jackson the outlet pass to Morrison. 1-on-2, can't finish through the contact. Didn't get the foul either. Good contest from Richard Collins. Collins the other way. Morrison waiting to slap it away. And Jackson with the contest knocked away. And right back to Red Rose Thunder. Rick Jackson didn't really have to put his hands up, just kind of used the body. And not sure why Mingledo is giving Davenport that much space at the top of the key. He'll knock that down almost every time if given that amount of room. Riddick, tough layup, too strong. Tyreek Riddick at times almost feels like he's forcing shots. That time walking into a three for Shaq Shannon. No one picked up ball in transition, so Shannon decided to make him pay for it. But my point about Tyreek Riddick almost feels like he's trying to force up shots rather than let them naturally come to him. Davenport looking to continue his hot streak. Cannot. Long rebound. Scafidi can't hold it, but gets the tip. Jackson one-on-one with Mingledo. Left hand. Too strong. Rebound. Right back up and in. Rick Jackson, a one-man cleanup crew today. Defense caught sleeping, but good recovery from Scafidi with the tough contest. Replay here. Jackson kind of didn't really have a set plan, so if anything, maybe the layup going off the back rim gave him more clarity on what he wanted to do. Shannon pops out to the corner and knocks down the three yet again. Back-to-back triples and a pass deflection for Shaq Shannon, keeping his team in it, now down by just 7. Isaiah Wilmore checks in. Davenport with a head of steam finds Wilmore, pump faking, offline. That's Wallace moving quickly with the left hand, dumping, oh, couldn't get the exclamation point, but the offensive rebound for Mingledo, can't hit the layup. Wilmore tips it to himself, they have numbers, finds Jackson, and he can't finish the flush on the other end. Back-to-back dunks rejected by the rim. And that layup no good as well. So another fast break chance, 3-on-1. Riddick. Just an absolute mess. Back-to-back offensive possessions. Riddick kind of fumbled it as he was trying to dribble. Had Rick Jackson just wide open. Jackson tried to save it. To no avail. Mingledo draws the foul and the bucket. Mingledo kind of catches the defense, sleeping just a bit, attacks, looks like Davenport, and draws the foul against them as well. They wanted to travel, but it was a good use of the Euro step, had the long step. Often when you see a player kind of take that long step through, you think it's a travel just because of the ground they covered when you're not looking at the actual steps they've taken. Rick Jackson out in the low post. Hasn't had many touches in the low post. Wilmore top of the key. Good look from Jackson as Isaiah Wilmore knocks down the three. Such an important piece of being a big man. Top of the key triple off the back iron. Offensive rebound again. Ripped away and will be a jump ball. So you see here Rick Jackson in the low post. Felt the double, even triple team coming. And Isaiah Wilmore, the sharpshooter, left all alone. But as I mentioned, such an important piece of being a big man. When you're in the low block, more often than not, you're going to get double teamed. So to feel that sense of pressure closing in on you and scanning the floor quickly, finding an open man, making a perfect, precise pass out, really just shows off how great of a big man Rick Jackson is. Now trying to play perimeter defense. 4 seconds remaining. Step back mid-range. Another offensive rebound for the Raiders. Right back up to another offensive rebound and a foul on the third chance opportunity for the Philly Raiders. It looks like they get Isaiah Wilmore on the personal foul, and he is about 10 feet behind the official with his palms in the air asking what, how, and why. Collins knocks down the first, cuts it to a 6-point deficit now, and the Raiders ever so slightly fighting back, making this a game. Can't hit the second, so the deficit will stay at 6. Red Rose Thunder looking to build on their once 16-point lead, now just 6. Wilmore hit the 3, trying the mid-range, gets fouled. 2 separate whistles calling the personal foul. What a great two-man game. Great chemistry between Demetrius Davenport and Isaiah Wilmore. Both knew exactly what they wanted to do, and Wilmore had a clean look, got hit on the way up, it seemed, and even didn't have much landing space as well. First one rims out, looked about halfway home and pops back out. Chris Bailey will check in for Dominic Scafidi. Chris Bailey out of Cecil College, 6'6", 225 pounds, from Philadelphia, PA, just over the bridge. Wilmore 0 for 2 from the line. Don't often see that from Isaiah Wilmore. So a lucky break for the Raiders. Mid-range 2 offline. Jackson the rebound. Tried the outlet pass and gets picked off again. Callender with the quick steal. Raiders on the attack. Oh, can't finish again. Collins just lost it on the way up. Tried to slam it. Right-handed floater rims out as well. The tip-in finally good from Richard Collins. As the Philly Raiders getting a ton of their points, especially in this third quarter, courtesy of the offensive rebounding category. Davenport can't get the foul, but what a finish from Demetrius Davenport. 63-58, a much-needed bucket to stop the bleeding from Davenport. Shaq Shannon letting the clock run a bit. 10 seconds, side step 3, top of the key, off the back iron. Another offensive rebound for the Raiders. Callender comes down with it. Right back out to Shannon. Shannon tried to get it to Callender. Now will. 5 seconds remaining. And a defensive 3-second violation on Rick Jackson. Let's see that drive from Demetrius Davenport again. Driving in and kind of, you see him disappear for a moment past Carl Wallace. And you see the ball pop up and fall through. Shannon hits the free throw because of the 3-second violation. And they will retain possession. So a bad 3-second violation from Rick Jackson as time was ticking down on the shot clock. Only about 3 seconds left when it was called. So the Raiders get a point and a fresh 14. Shannon trying to make a shot of his own. Dumps it off in the last second. Davenport with the steal and the pass to Wilmore. Spots up from the corner, and it's good. Demetrius Davenport and Isaiah Wilmore have been a two-man wrecking crew since Wilmore has checked into the game, extending the lead again to 7 points, as I believe a timeout is called on the floor. Red Rose Thunder leading 66-59. We'll take a short break. Stick with us on the Sports Fanbase Network. Back after the timeout. Red Rose Thunder leading 66-59 in their season opener of the East Coast Basketball League against the Philly Raiders. Red Rose had some big-time runs in that first half, and I mentioned that if the Philly Raiders can start to knock down some looks, once the Red Rose goes cold, that could be massive for them. Really just fight back in this game, maybe even take a lead, and it's exactly what they have done in this third quarter so far, and have just been all over the offensive glass. I am still shocked that Red Rose hasn't made more of an effort to crash the offensive glass. Right-handed layup, no good, but a foul is called. Kai Howard, the culprit. But with Rick Jackson being 6'10", 240, Chris Bailey 6'6", I mean, it's a good rebounding team. It just almost feels like the Raiders want it more right now. As that free throw rims out from Shaq Shannon. Shaq Shannon, 6'1", 180 pounds, out of Philadelphia, attended Quinnipiac University. Davenport crosses, drives with the right hand, and blocked. And what a play from Carl Wallace. Gets the rejection and the heads-up play to spike it off at Davenport as they were both falling out of bounds. So right back to the Raiders. Big-time stuff from Wallace. Man. just met Davenport right at the rim. Shannon open from the wing, guarded by Jackson, gives it away. Mingledo at the top of the key. Shannon calling for it. Calling for an ISO. Gives away at the last second. 3 seconds. Got to get a shot off. Mid-range 2. Offline. Another offensive rebound. Ripped away. Hit out of bounds. And right back to Red Rose Thunder. Richard Collins especially has done an incredible job on the offensive glass. Just even right there, he had control of it. Lost it on the way down. But always lurking. Always lurking. Good looking to Rick Jackson, who lost it and knocked out of bounds by the Raiders. Looked like Devin Moore was trying to plead his case that Rick Jackson hit it out, but pretty clear that the Raiders did. Trying their left-handed hook to no avail. Mingledo on the wing, double team, just gets it away. Looking to Moore, fading away, short. Jackson got the ball, maybe his arm tipped from behind, but Pierre Forte comes up with it, finds Williams in the corner for the 3, offline. Oh, bodies hit the deck as Wallace lost the ball and crashed into the legs of George Williams. So it'll be a foul, loose ball foul on Carl Wallace. Red Rose takes over with George Williams inbounding to Pierre Forte. Forte driving in, adjusting midair, drawing the foul. A lot of contact provided by Shaq Shannon, sending Pierre Forte to the line to shoot 2. First free throw rims out. So both sides making it just really feels like a season opener. Both sides, they've had good looks, but a lot of the shots have just been slightly off. Like again right there, Forte off the back iron on his second free throw attempt. And very physical defense by Chris Bailey in the backcourt, called for the foul just about 80 feet away from the bucket. Never good to foul that far away, especially in the third quarter. Just feels like an unnecessary foul to pick up. Wallace crossing over, driving in, almost got the lay. The tip in is good. Eddie Callender, the cleanup crew duty. Pierre Forte kicks out to Williams, right back to Forte. Forte on the wing. Now Wilmore finds Bailey spinning and short on his layup attempt. Was off balance, wasn't fully in control, as the Raiders, now down by just 4, can make it a 2-point game or a 1-point game. Wide open on the block, Eddie Callender. What a look from Shaq Shannon. That was a 2-point game. 66-64. Just about 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Deep wing 3 off back iron. Wilmore the long rebound and a loose ball foul called against Eddie Callender as he is helped back up by Wilmore. Sold out for the rebound and kind of smacked into the back of Isaiah Wilmore. So Red Rose now in the bonus as Isaiah Wilmore will get 2 looks from the line. As the first one falls. Both teams starting to pick up more fouls in this third quarter. But free throws, of course, helping Red Rose keep this lead alive. Knocks down the second. Back to a 4-point lead for Red Rose Thunder. Pierre Forte picking up Shannon. Shaq Shannon driving with the left, finding Gills. Good closeout from Williams. Wallace driving in with the right hand, finishing. Carl Wallace left alone at the free throw line. Driving in with the left hand, stripped away by Moore at the very last second. Scafidi thought he had a clean lane and a great play by Devin Moore to smack the ball away at the perfect time, really. Scafidi had the ball down and kind of came up with it, was at the exact moment that he took the other hand away to go up for the layup. Raiders head coach having a word with the official. Forte ignoring the screen, driving in, drawing the contact, can't finish. Moore on the rebound. Williams tried for the quick steal in the backcourt. Shannon finding Moore, streaking the length of the floor, can't hit the layup. Scafidi tips it to himself, but stolen right back by Wallace, who just smokes the layup. The easiest look all day for Carl Wallace. And couldn't hit it. Could have brought it to just a 1-point deficit. Because of the foul under their own bucket, Red Rose gets 2 free throws, courtesy of Pierre Forte. Rick Jackson back in for Chris Bailey. As Forte can't hit the second. It'll stay 68-65. Free throws could be a major factor later in this game. Gills just a step inside half. Tight defense provided by George Williams. Gets lost in the screen. Gills right-handed floater, not enough. Jackson the rebound. Tyreek Riddick with the touch. Spotting up from the wing. Oh, and the bank is good. Devin Moore can do nothing but laugh after allowing that to be good. It was way off. Tyreek Riddick just found a sweet spot on the backboard. 71-65. Gills trying to answer, cannot. Jackson right back to Riddick. Riddick, maybe the shot he needed to get going. Scafidi, what a look to Forte. Just a bit too much bounce on it. Dominic Scafidi gonna spot up and goes over the backboard and out of bounds. So you see Tyreek Riddick hit one like this in the first half, but wasn't a bank. I mean, wow. In transition threes. Don't often see them. But sometimes they work out, especially for Tyreek Riddick. Quick steal for Williams. Keeps it alive. And converts on the other end, ripping through Zahir Gills. A lazy pass, and George Williams makes the Raiders pay. Red Rose opening back up a lead, 73-65. Side step triple is good. Eddie Callender with Scafidi right in his mitt. Tyreek Riddick nearly lost the ball. Shot clock still plugged in. If they were moving a bit faster, could have got a 2-for-1. Jackson gets it ripped away. Morrison, right place, right time. Driving in, left-handed finish. No good, but a late foul call. And Devin Moore cannot believe it. Eddie Callender, and wow, a great contest from Dominic Scafidi, but an even better shot from Eddie Callender, the lefty, trying to find his hot hand again that he had in that first quarter. Absolutely laced that three. The net is still caught on the rim. First free throw from Will Morrison is good. The Pittsburgh State University product. Second one is short. Rebound Moore. Shot clock now unplugged. The Raiders can hold for one last look, and Shaq Shannon will do exactly that. 8 seconds remaining. Trying to use the screen from Wallace. Taking up a lot of time. 4 seconds and still walking. Spinning away. Can't get off a last-second look. Maybe a bit delayed in trying to run their offense at the end of the third quarter. Red Rose Thunder leading 74-68. We'll pause for a quarter break, but stick with us on the Sports Fan Base Network. Fourth quarter action just moments away from the Kroc Center here in Camden, New Jersey. Luke Nichols happy to join you on the call in the season opener for the Red Rose Thunder in the East Coast Basketball League. Raiders looking to pull a win or sneak a win right under the nose of Red Rose Thunder. Have trailed the majority of the game and have been fighting for a lead ever since. Deep three offline. As nearly given away, Williams keeps it alive, tiptoeing along the sideline, and a foul committed by Eddie Callender. Morrison off the screen from Jackson. Likes driving in with the right hand, finishing through two defenders. Has only taken one real jump shot today, otherwise has had some really nice success right around the rim. Mingledo looking to answer and gets a very friendly few bounces off the back iron for the Deuce. Back to a 6-point deficit. Williams against Gills. Now guarded by Bailey. Three from Scafidi is good. Rattles home. Dominic Scafidi in rhythm three. Has tried to spot up a few times from beyond the arc, but good closeouts have prevented him from taking the look that he wants that time. Cashing in. Back to a 9-point lead, looking to get it back to 6, cannot. Rebound Scafidi tried. The Jalen Hurts pass to Jackson. Jackson now working towards that low post. Picking up his dribble early, the left-handed hook way off. Gills, mid-range 2, can't hit. Jackson, outlet pass to Riddick. Tyreek Riddick in transition 3. Who would have guessed it? Puts it in. Tyreek Riddick loves the off the dribble threes. That one a beauty. Now to a 12-point lead for Red Rose Thunder. Back in control. Jackson lurking. Moore driving in from the elbow. Can't get it. Tip in is good. Jamal Bailey hanging around the rim, looking for an offensive rebound. Williams kicks to the corner, open, Riddick. Can he get another? Yes, he can! Last 3 deep balls from Tyreek Riddick have all been good. 9 straight points for him off his looks. Mingledo driving in, fighting through the contact, then blocked by Jackson. Williams will take it himself. Tyreek Riddick wanted the 3 again. Went to the corner, and a timeout is needed. A great look from Williams. Felt the double team, and then Riddick, wide open, rattles it home. Red Rose Thunder now leads. Ooh, built up a quick 87 to 72 point lead. We'll pause for a short break and be right back with fourth quarter action. Welcome back after the t-shirt toss in between timeout breaks. Myself, camera op Kiana, and producer Kevin all were attempting to get a t-shirt. We're all 0 for 1. Always next time. Always next time. Ben Mingledo on the wing, receives a screen. Good closeout from Riddick. Mingledo took his time thinking about the 3 ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shannon will rise. Can't hit off the back iron. Long rebound. Good to Callender as he converts off the glass. Now Chris Bailey driving in on Moore. A tough finish from Chris Bailey. Devin Moore was there the entire time. Just better offense provided from Chris Bailey. Driving in, Mingledo. Answering a tough make with a tough make. Williams got the foul, but not the shot, so he will go to the line. He'll shoot a pair, looking to extend this lead. Currently a 13-point lead after the Raiders made it a game. We're down by just 2 points earlier in the third quarter, and Red Rose Thunder responded very well in this fourth quarter. Now a 14-point lead after the first make from George Williams. Great offensive fight. Riddick, the fadeaway 3 off the back iron. A true heat check from Tyreek Riddick, saying, my bad that time. But hey, last 3 shots. Oh, man, got a tip, but right to Callender. Mingledo open in the corner. Bailey doesn't see him, forces up the look, and oh! Scafidi got popped by Shannon. Shannon, inadvertent hit. Scafidi popped right back up. Offensive foul was called on number 20, Jamal Bailey of the Philly Raiders. George Williams takes it across. Driving in, Morrison got the ball stripped away at the last second, and it will stay Red Rose possession. Great hands by Eddie Callender. A lot of that today where players kind of beat the man off the dribble or on a fast break. Seems like they have a wide open layup, but then a great just swipe by a defender to dislodge the ball. Riddick driving in, kicks it out. Williams gonna try the 3 offline. Shannon finds Mingledo from the corner, offline again. Moore, an offensive rebound though. Mingledo inside this time, draws the foul. Great offensive rebounding work again from Carl Wallace and Ben Mingledo. Dominic Scafidi still kind of stretching out his jaw, making sure he can still move it. Really just got smacked in the face by, I believe it was Shaq Shannon. Never fun getting hit in the face, especially when you least expect it. 90-77. Mingledo looking to go 2 for 2 and will. No need to bend the knees on a free throw if you can go 100% on your trip. Demetrius Davenport back in for Red Rose after his extended rest. But I have to imagine he plays the remaining 6 minutes and change. Chris Bailey rises. Can't hit. High stepping the other way. Spinning through the defense. Forcing up a layup. Too strong. Had Mingledo wide open on the wing. But Carl Wallace elected not to pass it up to his teammate. Morrison with a head of steam to the rim and finishing through Moore. Hard to stop anybody, but especially Will Morrison when he gets the ball in stride and has just that quick first step, head of steam. Making it look easy and quick. Mingledo shields off Morrison and a bunch of contact. See here the pass from Bailey. Morrison just doesn't think twice. Quick decision making and quick movement. Mingledo draws the foul. I believe they got it on Rick Jackson. But it more looked like that Will Morrison committed the foul on that kind of slap down on near the forearm area. And Rick Jackson, it looked like he got all ball, but in the pass now. At the line, Ben Mingledo. Hits the first again. Got the second. So big free throws from Ben Mingledo. 4 for 4 in his last 2 trips to keep the Raiders alive. Trailing by 12. Davenport forced it into Scafidi, batted around, knocked out of bounds, and will stay. No, actually a loose ball foul on Dominic Scafidi. The baseline official called it out of bounds, but the official closer to half court called it on Scafidi. Interesting that the closer official didn't make that call, but 92-80, Red Rose Thunder leads. Back after the timeout break, Red Rose Thunder looking to grab their first win of the season in their season opener, leading 92-80. Just about 5:57 remaining in the ball game. Shannon guarded by Davenport, using the screen from Collins, trying to work through it, driving in with the left hand off the glass. Shaq Shannon, a tough finish. Isaiah Wilmore back in, fading away with the right hand. My goodness. Isaiah Wilmore. How did that one fall? hit off the very top of the backboard and just drops right in. Thought he didn't have a chance to hit that. Mingledo spinning through the defense of Morrison, and a late foul called on Will Morrison. Here's the replay of that Isaiah Wilmore shot. Actually, yeah, hits off the very top corner of the backboard and takes a Red Rose bounce. Mingledo can't hit the first. 94-82. Red Rose leads. Off again, so went 4 for 4 on his last 2 trips and now 0 for 2. Demetrius Davenport with some nice ball movement. Davenport has it ripped away, picks it back up, driving in with the right hand. Oh, Demetrius Davenport had nothing going on after the tight defense. And just somehow finds a lane to get the deuce. Working through the screen, Shannon sidestep, guarded by Morrison. Right back to Davenport. Ball just a bit too hot for Eddie Callender, sails out of bounds. So the ball getting tipped, you see, from Demetrius Davenport just really helped the entire defense thinking, all right, he's stuck, let me shield off my man so he can't make a clean pass out to them. But the ball getting knocked away from him really bailed him out. Now driving in, finding a teammate, right back out to Scafidi, can't hit the 3. Good look from Bailey to Scafidi as the Raiders move back the other way. Scafidi with a brick wall of defense, but still converting. Eddie Callender. Kai Howard is met as he crosses. Scafidi finds Wilmore, driving in with the right hand, fading away from the block, too strong. Offensive rebound. Kai Howard got the ball ripped away by Shaq Shannon, and it will stay Red Rose possession. Easy entry pass and bucket, Chris Bailey, courtesy of Demetrius Davenport. On an inbounds play like that from under the bucket, main priority is to shield off the blocks and just anywhere right under the bucket. Mingledo spinning a travel, the correct call, headed back the other way. But on entry passes like that, you really just want to shield off the blocks in the low post area, so any just easy bounce pass in is just a killer for the defense. Davenport could have walked into a 3. Going to try the step back, just rimming out. Some players are more comfortable shooting off the dribble. Demetrius Davenport, one of those players. Ball ripped away by Chris Bailey. Isaiah Wilmore gets the bounce pass from him, and fouled on his dunk attempt. Tried to put Eddie Callender on a poster. Callender just got too much of the arm on his block attempt. Isaiah Wilmore at the line for 2. Good on the first. Red Rose leading by 15 with 3:19 remaining. More than inclined to start chewing some clock when they're back on the offensive end, really working that shot clock, getting it down to about 10 seconds before you start to move into your offense. But don't want to be too passive. Play some tight defense. If they start scoring, then throw the chewing clock out the window and keep attacking. Mingledo driving in, drawing the foul. Isaiah Wilmore commits the foul, so Ben Mingledo is more than familiar with a charity stripe in this fourth quarter. It's the first. overall, both teams playing a strong opening game. 100-85, the count now 100-86. Both teams have looked good, and once some of those open looks, once that shot starts to really come back, mid-season form, could have been a much higher scoring contest. What a reverse finish from Kai Howard, just slicing through the teeth of the defense. Looking to answer, Mingledo drawing the foul again, and the shot. See Mingledo driving in, drawing it, and just kind of popping right up through Kai Howard. Looks like Kai Howard is who they got the foul on as well. Devin Jackson III making his first appearance for the Red Rose Thunder late in the fourth quarter. Number 32 will inbound. As Mingledo converts on the three-point play opportunity, Philly Raiders now providing just some light pressure, just letting them know that they're there. 102-89. Davenport stuck in a double team, just gets it away to Howard. Howard fouled along the hash by Mingledo. Red Rose Thunder now in the bonus for the remainder of the game. As Kai Howard hits the first. Sidestep three from Shannon, knocks it down. Shaq Shannon keeping his team alive with the big-time three, 104-92. Davenport streaking, finds Devin Jackson. Jackson draws the foul. Philly Raiders head coach Keith Walker saying, don't give him that. And I got to say, sometimes you see coaches take a seat, you know, maybe relax for a moment. Both coaches, Malin Morrison of the Red Rose Thunder and Keith Walker of the Philly Raiders, have been on their feet the entire time, just all into the game, talking with the officials, calling out sets, talking to their players, making adjustments. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. Devin Jackson III looking to hit his second free throw, cannot. Shannon had the three on the last offensive possession. And he got tripped over himself, but Mingledo at the top of the key, driving in, right-handed finger roll is good from Ben Mingledo, and he has really come alive in this fourth quarter. A large source of the offense. Oh, Jackson tried for the two-handed finish, but is fouled by Eddie Callender. Devin Jackson III running the floor, tried for the emphatic finish. Back to the line for the 6'5" forward out of Del Valle University. From, you guessed it, Philadelphia, PA. Jackson hits his first free throw. As number 8, Eddie Callender, has fouled out of the ball game. A fantastic game for Eddie Callender. Strong first quarter, a bit quiet for the remainder of the game, but overall played very well in the opener. Has a sweet shot too with that left hand. Jackson the third, short on his second attempt, so both trips to the line, good on the first, off on the second. Mingledo still trying to do it all himself, And a blocking foul called on Devin Jackson III. Guess they're saying he was still shuffling his feet. But it seemed like he beat him to the spot. The officials do not seem inclined to change their call. So at the line, Ben Mingledo. 1:32 remaining. Red Rose Thunder leading 106-94 as we crawl to the finish. First one good for Mingledo. Mingledo just almost with a different mindset in this fourth quarter. He just wanted to try and take over, wanted to put the team on his back. Offensive rebound, fumbled out of bounds by Shaq Shannon. As now the pressure is more apparent. Ball knocked away again. Davenport telling his team, hey, get down here, give me some help. Got to pass through the press. Most effective way to break it every single time. Kai Howard gets it. Double team is coming. Nearly stolen by Mingledo, but they get it across just in time. Devin Jackson can't get a hold of it. Isaiah Wilmore can. Dumps it off. Oh! Rejected by the rim again. Chris Bailey. Tried for the big-time finish. Mingledo again. Oh, Shaq Shannon takes a tumble. Must have just tripped over himself. 106-97. Philly Raiders not out of it just yet because of turnovers like that from Demetrius Davenport. 3-on-2 fast break. Mingledo calling for it again. Has it. Euro stepping. Can't draw the foul. Offensive rebound Moore. Moore fouled on his putback. Devin Moore at the line to shoot two. Again, Philly Raiders not going away. Still lurking, especially on the offensive glass. First free throw offline from Devin Moore out of Penn State Berks. Can't hit the second either. Rebound. Oh, a lot of contact as the official again overruling the baseline official. Chris Bailey laid out for the defensive rebound, got knocked down, and thought there should have been a foul. So a timeout on the floor. We'll pause for a moment as well. Red Rose Thunder leading 106-97 here on the Sports Fanbase Network. Welcome back after the break. Red Rose Thunder starting with the ball. Kai Howard to inbound. George Williams in the game as well. Double teamed. Ooh, tiptoeing on the baseline. Just staying in bounds. Finds Isaiah Wilmore. Zahir Gills back in as well. Wilmore driving in with the right-handed layup, and it falls. Maybe a bit early in the shot clock, but hey, as long as it goes in, doesn't really matter. Gills lost it and blocked by Kai Howard. See the replay here. Gills running the length of the floor. Lost it there. Tried to force it up, and Kai Howard, man, read that the entire time. Corner three is good. Shaq Shannon, again, keeping his team alive. Down by 8. And a take foul by Zahir Gills. So George Williams will get set to shoot two. Would have to imagine if Williams can knock down both, Raiders move back the other way and can't get a look. That'll pretty much be all she wrote. As he hits the first of two. Can't hit the second. 9-point lead. Shaq Shannon takes it across. Red Rose Thunder not inclined to foul. Tried to draw the foul short on the three ball. Kai Howard the rebound. And the defense lays off with the shot clock unplugged. Tyreek Riddick still going to take the three from the corner. Can't knock it down. Mingledo, maybe some showmanship. Got it. The pump finish from Ben Mingledo will make the final score. 109-102. Red Rose Thunder win their season opener and win it for Makai Clemens. Again, if you didn't see the halftime ceremony for Makai, I strongly recommend going back and watching it. It was just a beautiful moment. Put the ball down on the right side block where he scored the last bucket for Red Rose Thunder in the previous season. Had his family come out, presented him with a jersey. An emotional moment, but happy they could get the win for Makai Clemens, season opener. And a great game overall from the Red Rose Thunder. Controlled the game the entire time. A few hiccups, maybe in the late second quarter, the third quarter. But we're always in control. Ben Mingledo did his best to try and get the Pirates, the Raiders to fight back. But just a bit too late from Mingledo. This felt like just a classic Red Rose Thunder game. A bunch of players played very well. Hard to pick out a player of the game. I think I'd have to go with Demetrius Davenport, the kind of unofficial captain of the team, always facilitating the offense, getting big-time buckets, feeding other guys, but overall, everyone played fantastic. Will Morrison had a bunch of tough looks at the rim. Tyreek Riddick, Isaiah Wilmore, Rick Jackson on the boards. Always a good time with the Red Rose Thunder playing at the Kroc Center. Camden, New Jersey just waiting on Emily Cochran. Looks like she'll grab Demetrius Davenport for the post-game interview. Emily Cochran ready now, so we'll send it down to her, Demetrius Davenport.
So Demetrius, you knew going into this game, you and your team knew that this win was for number 13. How does it feel to get this win under your belt for Makai?
It felt good to start the season off with a win anytime you start off, but it was special today, man. 13 was like this was my brother, so anytime I could play for him, like I said, the whole season is from this year. And like I said before, when we come on the floor, I feel like we're the best team. I'm one of the best players, and that's how 13 will win it. So I'm going to play the rest of the season just for him.
And your coach mentioned that this season is all for number 13. So how will you sustain this momentum going into your next game?
Just playing hard, playing for each other, and just believing in the values that he instilled in us when he was with us. Everything about Kai was about the teammates. I'm going to do what's good for the person next to me, behind me, in front of me, and on the other side of me. So we're just going to play like that. We are Army, it's us against the world.
Absolutely. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Emily, and you heard it from Demetrius Davenport. The entire season, not just today, is for Makai Clemens, such a prominent figure in his community and for this Red Rose Thunder team. You can just hear it with what Demetrius Davenport said, the values that he instilled in this team and in the teammates and everything. I'll be rooting for the Red Rose Thunder this entire year, especially for Makai Clemens. May he rest in peace. Final score, 109-102. Red Rose Thunder winning their season opener Luke Nichols signing off for the Sports Fan Base Network.